Crystal, how much do you love going to a theme park during the summer months?
I love the theme parks. It was funny because after 1 year, I've been as an adult with groups in my different neighborhoods and coworkers. So there's always been a group of people that we've come together, no matter where I've worked too. This is, of course, Cedar Point in Ohio,
Oh, yeah.
Busch Gardens here in the DC area, King's Dominion. So
King's Dominion too, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
That's so fantastic. Well, today we are talking theme parks with the man behind the biggest theme park website. It's called Theme Park Insider. Robert Niles over on our, I don't know, it's our brother show, the Stacking Benjamin show. Every year he opens up our summer months by coming on the show. I think it's been almost 10 years, Crystal, that Robert's been doing this on Stacking Benjamin.
You're in a relationship.
I guess we are, but that's because he's super good radio. So this year you are with me while we talk to Robert. So you and I doing the interview with Robert. And even if you heard yesterday, this interview with Robert, the second half of the show, you and I are going to talk about our theme park experiences. And then in about a month, we'll hear from our adventures experiences and their favorite theme parks. So that's on today's show.
Woohoo. And if you're looking for best in class gear that's tried and true by both Joe and I and our wonderful guests, and the stuff is worth the price too, head to our Amazon page at stackingadventures.com/gear of the day or GOTD. You'll hear all the picks and you'll help the show and help yourself adventure better and for less money. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this roller coaster down the hill.
Down the hill. Man, that anticipation of it going up and up and up and up and up and up. And then on the way down, you're like, okay, where's the picture taker?
Yeah.
It's going to get you.
Are you always looking for the snapshot now?
Oh, yeah.
Ready for adventure? From vacation to staycation and from the mountains to the beach. This is the Stacking Adventures podcast.
Welcome to the Stacking Adventures podcast. Every adventure has a tale, and we tell stories from regular people all the time on this show. Today, though, is one of those few episodes where we actually, Crystal, have an expert on today with us.
Joe is not the expert this time. Woohoo! Just kidding. I love Joe. We know that.
Crystal is the expert on all things making fun of Joe. So
yes.
I am Joe Saul-Sehy.
And I'm Crystal.
And we are about to have some fun because Robert Niles has been a guy that has been part of the Stacking Benjamin's family for a long time. As I mentioned before, this is how popular this guy is, Crystal. I was watching the Super Bowl one year, and Google had bought some time talking about how they help creators. And one of the creators that Google was talking about, bragging about who they help, was Robert Niles from Theme Park Insider.
Wow. That's a pretty big deal. We're lucky.
Robert is a big deal, and we're about to hear from him. So let's go to our recent interview with Robert Niles from Theme Park Insider before the second half where Crystal and I talk about our theme park experiences and our thoughts about the interview. I don't think summer's officially begun in the basement until he's here. Robert Niles is back. How are you, Mr. Theme Park Insider?
I am getting over the jet lag and getting on with the summer.
Okay, so for everybody that is hanging out with us, all you stackers, here's what happened. Crystal and I get this email back from Robert saying, can we reschedule this? Because I'm going to be in Abu Dhabi.
Jealous.
And we're like, okay, that's a flex. Just, I'm going to Ferrari World or whatever, Universal in Abu Dhabi. But nope. It turns out he goes, make sure you watch Theme Park Insider this week. And Crystal, a couple of weeks ago, you and I saw some big news out of Abu Dhabi.
Tell us more.
Yeah. So, Robert, there's big news from this corporation affiliated with a mouse.
Yeah. Looks like we've got a Disney theme park coming to Abu Dhabi. Marol has caught the white whale it has been chasing for years and signed a deal to bring Disney to its Yas Island resort in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be Disney's 7th theme park resort worldwide and first one in the Middle East.
You couldn't tell us at the time when we were setting this up why you were in Abu Dhabi or why you were going. You have this, this non-disclosure you had to sign. But how does that whole process work, Robert? When did you first find out that there might be a deal coming?
Okay, technically, they didn't tell me why I was going to Abu Dhabi.
He just said, get on a plane.
Just get on a plane. I got an email from Maral's press agency on April 30th inviting me to come out for a 15th anniversary event where they were going to talk about what's coming to the resort for the next 5 years ago. And they've got some cool stuff on the books coming out. They've announced a Harry Potter land in their Warner Brothers World Park. They've said that they're going to do a couple new rides in that Warner Brothers park themed to DC. They're talking about a new roller coaster at Ferrari World. So there's interesting stuff happening. But the press event was like 5 days away. It was ridiculous. That's way too short a turnaround for an international press event. So I was a little suspicious. And I contacted some of my friends in the industry who I know cover the UAE, and they were all a little suspicious as well. We put a bunch of clues together, and we all suspected this is going to be Disney. But they didn't tell us. In fact, they did not tell us until we got in the room. The chairman of Maral, who's like the Minister of Culture for the UAE, was just dropping all of these Disney hints. Like, we're going to have a whole new world here. It's a dream that come true.
Oh, my
it's
God.
all magic. But I can't tell you.
And the weird thing is, Crystal, you don't know this, but Robert's also standing by this guy he met named Bob, who he's standing next to. He just,
Bob.
Yeah, this talkative, chatty guy. I don't know.
So finally, he says, I'd like to introduce our new partner, the CEO of the Walt Disney Company, Robert A. Iger. And he comes out onto the stage. And that's when we officially knew.
What? How many people are in this room?
50.
Is there like everybody breathes in at the same time? Or?
Oh, yeah. There was audible gasp in the room. I'd say about half a dozen of us in the media actually knew that it was going to be Disney. In fact, I had sent an email to one of my Disney contacts before I left saying, I don't know, just, I heard a rumor. Does this have anything to do with you guys? And nothing at all for a day or two. And then I get the, can I call you? Email, which is like, I know what's happening here. And they were still like, nope, we're not going to confirm anything until you agree to the embargo. And I'm like, yes, of course I'm agreeing to the embargo. And then finally I got a few details shortly before, just basically logistical stuff at that point. So we had all the information about 30 minutes before the embargo lifted, and real rush to get all the stories and the video and everything up. But that's the sort of stuff that's just fun in this industry, is that when you've got that big scoop coming up and you know when you're going to be able to report it, and you know that people are just going to be wowed by it. Then that night, they said they were going to have like a little party to celebrate their 15th anniversary, which of course then became like the greatest Disney nighttime spectacular I've ever seen in my entire life. They've got
imagine.
Long playing piano, 100-member orchestra, a huge choir. They're out on risers set out in the bay. They've got fountains. They've got fireworks. They have 9,000 drones forming Disney castles in the sky. If they wanted to send the message that no expense will be spared for Maral to create the greatest Disney experience in the world, that show delivered that message.
Your job sucks, Robert. I don't know how you put up with all that.
Oh, man.
To be fair, as nice as it is, it's still a 16-hour flight from LA to the UAE and back. And then it was an hour and a half in a car from Dubai over to Abu Dhabi, because I wanted the nonstop.
Did you actually get to ride a roller coaster though while you were in Abu Dhabi? I mean, you got the fastest roller coaster on earth still, right?
Yeah, Formula Rosa there. I did not get on Formula Rosa. I did not have the time to do that. The only ride I went on was Animayhem, which is the interactive shooter ride over in Warner Brothers World that's themed to the Acme factory.
The Bugs Bunny Acme factory?
Yes, the Wile E. Coyote Acme factory. You're going through with like a little scanner, scanning out all the packages that you're sending to their best customer out in the American Southwest desert. It is my absolute favorite interactive ride in the world. So I just speed run through that park to go over there. I had like literally 15 minutes to get over to that park, ride that ride, and get back over to the hotel.
That is
I'm
hilarious.
like, I'm doing Animayhem.
Hell or high water. I'm going to do that.
The queue is beautiful. They've got like this trophy case for Acme Corporation. It's just cobwebs and broken glass.
That's fantastic. What details do you have on the Disney park? Are there any details at all released yet, Robert?
absolutely zilch. They wouldn't even tell us the location of it on Yas Island, which a lot of us were curious about because that island's pretty well developed. There were only 2 places that we could identify that they potentially had enough space to do this. And one of them had been platted out for residential development, we believe. So we're kind of suspected that maybe the reason why they haven't said where they're putting it is they've still got to clear out with maybe some people who had bought in on some real estate in the past and buy some people out or something like that. Or it could be going to another place that we've identified, but that's not technically on the island right now. It's adjacent to the island. So yeah, I don't know.
Do they have a date?
No date. My Disney contacts are all like, remember the original email said they were going to talk about things they're doing 5 years out. And so some people have assumed that that means this is coming within 5 years, but my Disney contacts are all like, we are not committing to a timeline at this point. And the concept art that they released for this is the most vague concept art I have ever seen for a Disney theme park. You can't pick out anything. It's like,
that's why I asked, because even the photos on Theme Park Insider, I'm like, I get nothing from this.
I get absolutely not. I don't even really know what the castle looks like. Now, one of the questions we have is this going to be every other park that they've developed on Yas Island? It's indoors. The only things outdoors are the roller coaster tracks. So how much of this is going to be indoors? Now, Disney, they love the big spectacle. They love the huge castle at the end of Main Street. They love all those visual weenies. They love big, big capacity. And if you go indoors, you're necessarily limiting your capacity. So what we're all curious at this point is how much of this park is going to be indoors? And if there's stuff outside, how do you accommodate guest comfort in the Middle East where it gets roasting hot most of the year? So there's a lot of questions still in there. Now, they showed a sizzle reel showing like Zootopia, the new World of Frozen that they've done, some of the hot IP that they've got. I don't know if that means that's going to end up in the Abu Dhabi park or not, but obviously Disney is not lacking for IP to put into a theme park. It's just a question of picking what they're going to go with.
That's such exciting news in theme park world. So the news I was going to talk to you about when we first scheduled this was the obvious news, a hell of a lot closer to home. We got a new theme park opening in Orlando. Give us the preview. What's going on in Orlando?
Universal Orlando's new Epic Universe. And I don't think it's any surprise that Disney dropped the news about Abu Dhabi just before Epic Universe opened.
Isn't that weird?
The pettiness between these two companies will never cease to amuse me. If one does one thing, the other has to one-up them somehow. So we'll see like how big an orchestra they can get for the Epic Universe. So they're probably furiously ordering drones right now. We need more than 9,000 drones.
9,002.
We need 9,001 drones, whatever you do. But yeah, Epic Universe officially opens May 22nd at the Universal Orlando Resort. It's actually at this new South Campus of the Universal Orlando Resort. If you're familiar with Orlando, it's down by the Orange County Convention Center, that huge convention center on South International Drive. So they've got new land down there. They've got 3 new hotels. They've got this new theme park and plans for plenty more to put down there. But I got to check out Epic Universe during a press preview in April. Absolutely spectacular. One of the best theme parks in the world. A couple of amazing new attractions there. Universal, for the first time, has built an entire land based on its classic monsters. Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, Dracula, all of those classic monsters. There's a wonderful new attraction there called Monsters Unchained that I think really is going to set the standard for dark rides, only surpassed by their new Harry Potter ride, which is set in the Ministry of Magic. You actually go through the Flu Network. You are in the queue that is the Ministry of Magic from the movies. 100% accuracy. You feel like you're right there. And you go on this amazing new dark ride that they have, where they have animatronics of people I never thought they'd get approval to do animatronics of. I won't spoil what specific actors they are, but some of the actors from the Harry Potter films have reprised their roles for this particular attraction, and it is absolutely wonderful. Uptime has been a real challenge for that attraction during the preview period. When we got on, we were the very first people outside of Universal Creative that had been allowed on that. I've got the full queue video on the website at this point, but they didn't allow us to take any on-ride video. That's going to be with the virtual queue only to get into that attraction. So that's going to be a little bit of a trick, but absolutely worth the effort if you can get on it. You're going to have to go on the app and join a virtual queue in order to get in. So it's a little bit of a lottery rather than just going into a regular queue and spending 8 hours hoping that it stays up and that you get in.
It still makes me feel bad, Robert, between that and the virtual queue stuff that Disney's done. Like if you haven't gone to Theme Park Insider ahead of time or any site, if you've done no homework and you just pick up the kids and you go to the theme park, you're kind of screwed. Like you really have to prep now before you take the family to the park.
That is the nature of the beast at these days, which I suppose is wonderful for me and other people who are doing this business of providing news about visiting theme parks. But yeah, if you do the advanced research, you have such a massive advantage over people who do not at this point, because you need to know about things like virtual queues for top attractions. Those are relatively rare at this point, but that is certainly an issue. If you want to get on the best ride at Epic Universe, you're going to have to navigate what they call the virtual line in order to do that. And then just with early entry that exists, if you just roll up when Epic Universe opens, you're going to notice there's a whole bunch of people in the park already, because the people who stay on Universal Orlando's hotels are going to get into the park early, and they're going to get to go Super Nintendo World and the new Stardust Racers roller coasters before anyone else.
You told me in the past that staying on site, Universal is mathematically great and the theming of these hotels is really good. Is that value still around in 2025?
A lot of that value is still around. They are not doing the same Universal Express Unlimited perk inside Epic Universe just yet, but everyone expects that to happen sometime relatively soon. But the early entry is certainly worth it. The convenience of being right there is certainly worth it. They have a new Helios Grand Hotel that's actually within Epic Universe. So you step out of the hotel and you are in the park already. And in fact, you're in the side of the park, the complete opposite side from the public entrance. So if you want to get to Harry Potter or Monsters Unchained first, you have a huge advantage because they're right next to the Helios Grand Hotel.
Your pictures of that hotel, by the way, Robert, that hotel's beautiful too.
It's absolutely stunning. I think it might be the best hotel that they've ever done. So yeah, Universal consistently way underpriced compared to Walt Disney World's on-site hotels.
Oh.
I know a lot of people who do Disney World vacations and they stay at Universal Orlando, because if you're going to do both of those parks in one go, the better value for the hotel very often is at Universal Orlando. Now, the situation at Walt Disney World is so structured around Disney Vacation Club at this point. They really want to get people into that timeshare program. And for people who have bought into that, particularly if you bought into it years ago, great value there. Absolutely great value. But if you're coming in just as a hotel guest, if you're not bought into the DVC program, or you're not renting points from someone in the DVC program, a lot of the times, just as a regular hotel guest, you're going to get better value for your money going to Universal Orlando, which does not have a timeshare component onto it. So that's not influencing the pricing and the demand for those hotels.
Let's dive into that for a second, because there's a piece I saw just a couple of days ago at the New York Post, which was about a father of a family of 4 who said that he spent all included just less than $1,400 on food and park tickets for a day. And he felt like, Robert, he really felt ripped off. Okay. He totally felt like he was ripped off.
Here's the problem. Nobody should ever contemplate a one-day visit to Walt Disney World. Just the way that park is priced is to encourage you to spend at least 4 days there. They actively price it to discourage one-day visit. If you want to do a one-day visit to a Disney theme park, go to Disneyland in California, or go to any of the other Disney theme parks around the world. Go to Hong Kong, go to Paris, go to Tokyo. Actually, Tokyo is so good, you want to spend at least 2 days there. But no way should anyone ever even contemplate a one-day visit to the Walt Disney World Resort. It's just simply the economics of that visit don't work, as we saw in that article, because you're paying a huge upfront price for a ticket there. And then they start discounting that second and third and fourth and fifth day. By the time you get to like the 6th or 7th day, they're practically throwing it in for free at that point, because they really want you to be spending close to the whole week at Walt Disney World. And they price it to encourage that. One-day visits are absolutely crazy.
Regardless of the amount we spend, whether we're going to one of your favorite places, Holiday World in Indiana, Cedar Point, which my sister and I went back to again last year, had so much fun. After talking to you, I was even more geeked last year to go back to the point. But how do we make it worth the money? Is there a certain time we should arrive? Are there days of the week we should go? Like, what types of things can really help our stackers make this a good use of whatever amount of money we end up spending?
you really have to think about, are you interested in going more than once? Are you interested in something that this is you're going to do on a regular basis? At that point, you want to be looking into things like annual passes. If you're really into Disney and going all the time, hey, really consider buying into DVC. It can be a great deal if you're buying Disney in bulk. They will sell it to you in bulk like that. But if you're just a casual visitor, you like going a lot of different places and you just want to drop into a theme park to ride a few roller coasters or something like that, great. Obviously, always get the tickets in advance. We've got discount tickets on themeparkinsider.com. All of the parks have discount advance purchase tickets on their own websites. Go purchase your tickets in advance for that.
For Cedar Point last year, Robert, I believe we bought tickets. My sister and I bought tickets in February or March to go in July after we spoke with you last year. And I think I got like a 40% discount by buying during the winter. So yeah, huge savings.
Huge discount.
Just there.
If you can go on weekdays, that's always the best. Weekdays during the school year when the park is open is the absolute best time to go. But if you go, get there early. Consider the on-site hotel if they offer them. I know Cedar Point does. All the Disney parks do. Universal does. A lot of the Six Flags parks do not. But if they have an on-site hotel, there's usually some type of early entry benefit, which allows you to get on a couple of the top rides early before there's any big queues on that. That might be worth the extra money, plus the convenience of being right there at the park. If you want to like take a little break in the afternoon when the lines are ridiculous, you're right there. You've got a hotel. That's worth looking at. If it's not in your budget, fine. There's always lots of budget price hotels near theme parks, a little shorter drive away. But getting there first thing and trying to get on whatever you can first thing in the morning. If you've got the stamina to stick around until late in the day, the very last hour of the park, things get easy to get on as well. Parks also sell skip the line type of passes. They all have different brand names for them now. It's Universal Express at Universal, Lightning Lane at Disney, Flash Pass at the Six Flags parks, Quick Queue, I think, at SeaWorld, Busch Gardens. That might be worth your budget. If you've got a one-day visit, you're not going to be around again for a while. You really want to get on these attractions. If it looks like it's kind of crowded, maybe it's worth your time to spend a little extra money and get that line skipping pass. So there are lots of different ways that parks make it so that it can be easy and convenient and fun to see everything in the park. But again, always a little advanced research, looking at what your options are, looking at the products that are available and deciding which ones are the right ones for you are going to increase your chances of having the best possible day at the park.
Man, I know I learned from you to go early, and that paid dividends ever since then, the past few years. And even from your community, Robert, which ride you ride first? Like, what's that line that's going to, it might not be your favorite ride, but what's the line that's going to be huge later on? You know, at the Magic Kingdom, as an example, Peter Pan, first ride of the day. Get that, because otherwise you're going to be in hell.
The insider secret here is it's not about the popularity of the ride. It's about the capacity of the ride versus its popularity. So something like Peter Pan is a pretty low capacity ride. It's got moderate demand, but because that moderate demand is hitting something with very low supply, that's how you end up with the big queue. You can have attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean. More people want to go on Pirates of the Caribbean than want to go on Peter Pan. Pirates of the Caribbean is a people eater. I mean, you can put a couple thousand people an hour through that attraction. It's never going to have the big line that Peter Pan has simply because of the capacity. And that's the insider information that you need to know in order to pick which ride you're going to go to first in the morning.
Crystal, you were excited about technology and some of the technology around the country or around the world even, that's happening.
Well, yeah, because people talk about, like the lines they're getting longer and longer. Like back in our day, we had our imagination while we were standing in these long lines. So as we're coming to you, our professor, and getting our PhD in theme parks, what ways have they used tech to make our experiences more enjoyable?
The main thing, everyone's got an app at this point, and everyone's app has live wait times. Now, there's a debate on how accurate those live wait times are, but that's your number one tool to use technology to your advantage so that you know what the current wait times are around the park. It used to be you had to go walk up to the queue and see what they'd posted at the entrance to the queue. Okay, 30-minute wait, 60-minute wait. Now you've got that in the palm of your hand through the park's official app. You've got that information. They also allow you through the app in order to book one of those line skipping experiences for an upcharge or a virtual line if they're using that for their attraction. Also to know what attractions are up and down. I mean, if something goes down and then you see in the app, oh, this just reopened, get over there right now, because they dumped the whole queue when the ride was closed. It's like rope drop at the beginning of the day. All of a sudden, it's a redo. There's no one in that queue. This is your chance to get into it. But also within the queues themselves, and Disney and Universal are great at this, it's no longer just that switchback back and forth, walking on concrete through metal poles and stuff. They've made queues part of the experience. I mean, if you think about something like, I love Secret Life of Pets at Universal Studios Hollywood. You're walking through this New York, this stylized fantasy, illumination entertainment version of a New York apartment complex, which is themed to Secret Life of Pets. They're little animatronic pets. There's videos of pets going through the heating ducts and stuff like that. It's all part of the show from the moment you walk into that attraction. You're supposedly in the queue waiting for the ride, but it's all show right there. And there's a lot of technology and set dressing and production design that goes into all of that. So parks are finding ways to make sure that you're not lacking for entertainment for any time that you're in that park. The minute you walk in that gate, they're doing something to entertain you, even if you're waiting in line.
Ooh. What's the hidden gem? I mean, you just mentioned Universal Hollywood. What's the hidden gem park if we're taking a trip to Southern California that people might not think about when they're first planning, but they might want to consider?
If you've got kids who are in elementary school, Legoland, no matter where you are in the country or the world, if you've got elementary age kids, Legoland should be your top priority, even ahead of Disney, because it's specifically designed for families with kids in that age range. They're doing a lot of like Lego Festival stuff right now. They just are doing a lot of really great work on stuff that is scaled for, designed for, and interactive enough that it actually feels like active play. It doesn't feel like you're just waiting in line, sitting on something, watching something happen, that you're actually in there playing on something. And it's such a great experience for families there. Around other parks of the country, the stuff I'm recommending right now, you mentioned Holiday World earlier, which is still a great park that I recommend for people who are out in the Midwest. But also two parks that Hershend runs that I absolutely adore, Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri, and Dollywood, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I think those are a couple of the best run parks in America at this point in terms of quality that I think is on the Disney level, the decoration that's on that level. The attractions, maybe they're a little bit simpler, but the customer service is unparalleled. The food's great. The atmosphere is wonderful, and the price is way less than you'll be paying in Orlando or Southern California. So if you can get to one of those two parks of the country, Dollywood and Silver Dollar City, I think, are well worth your attention.
So then what are you splurging on at the parks and what are you skimping on?
Oh, great question. For me, I am all about the attractions, the experiences that are designed there that are unique to the park. So if I get in and I see this park is pretty crowded, the thing I'll splurge on is that front of line pass, because I want to make sure I'm getting on the attractions that I want to experience when I'm there. The thing I'm probably skimping on, honestly, at most parks is food. At most parks, the food experience is pretty bland. So unless it's a park that's really known for food, and then I will splurge on the specific food items that they're known for. Like I just said, Silver Dollar City, if I go there, I'm getting a loaf of cinnamon bread, no matter what. But in terms of, other things in the parks, maybe I can get by on a few snacks here and there, because I would rather, get by on a snack and get in on that ride I really want to get than have an overpriced sit down mall food meal and miss out on a great attraction. So another thing I skimp on, honestly, I'm not a merchandise type of guy. Some people love coming in and shopping for the souvenirs. To me, it's more about the experience than the physical product itself. So I'm not somebody who's going big in on merchandise. But other people, like I said, they've got so many different ways to appeal to so many different people. Whatever your jam is, they'll have it for you there. If you want the merchandise, go do that. If you don't care about the ride so much, don't spend the money on the front of line pass. So it's just really all comes down to personal. But for me, those are where my priorities lie.
What about the carnival games? Guess your weight, Robert. We guess your weight.
No way. Actually, a long time ago, and we probably need to revisit this, we actually had an article about how to win all of the carnival games on themeparkinsider.com. That's one of our great articles back in the archives.
Okay.
I might dig that up and put it on the discussion board. So there's definitely a way to win all of those. Most people don't know that. Most people don't do it. And you're pretty much throwing the money away. And even if you do win,
I know you lose.
The amount. I've been to the big IAPA convention, and there's the big industry convention in Orlando every November, and you've got all the people down there who are selling all of the plush toys that they're giving away for prizes, and I know what they're paying wholesale for those prizes. Even if every single person who put down their couple of bucks or whatever to play won, they'd still be money ahead based on how much they paid for those prizes.
I saw somebody carrying around like one of those big minions from Despicable Me, and I couldn't imagine winning that at 11 a.m. And now I got to carry it around the park or rent a locker, take it back to my car, whatever that might be.
Some people love that. That's why they're there. That's the experience for them. And
true.
Bless you. I mean, go for it. I'm happy you're having a great time. That ain't me though.
A year ago, you and I were talking about Six Flags, the name everybody knows, and Cedar Point's parent company, Cedar Fair, merging. And your comment then was that you thought they'd keep the Six Flags name, which they did, and that Cedar Fair's management would run the place. And you thought that might be good for consumers. I noticed that if you're somebody in the Northeast, though, you have Six Flags America that goes bye-bye at the end of this year. Are there other parks around the country that you're seeing Six Flags close?
Well, the California's Great America Park in the Bay Area, which was a former legacy Cedar Fair park. Cedar Fair had already done a deal to sell the land under that park. They had a up to 10-year lease to keep it open, but at some point that park is going to close. That and Six Flags America, which are in Maryland, suburban DC, those are the two that we know are going away at some point, with America going away at the end of this season. Six Flags management has said, which is the old Cedar Fair management, as you mentioned, has said they don't have any current plans to close any more parks, but they have said that their analysis of their assets is ongoing. So even though they don't have a plan right now to close a park, that doesn't mean they won't have a plan at some point in the future. It's really going to come down to what kind of money are they making on these parks, and where does the real estate market go? I know that right now, for a variety of macroeconomic factors, development in this country building is getting to be a little bit tough. It's certainly tough. I mean, I'm in Southern California, just down the road from Altadena. You can't get anybody to build anything right now because there is such demand for people trying to rebuild up there. That's kind of cooled down a little bit of the commercial real estate market in some markets, because if you buy it, you can't really do anything with it. So that might keep some of the parks open a little bit longer. I would be surprised if that's all we see close or get sold in the Six Flags market. I think they might be in the market to sell some parks to independent operators or other chains that are looking to expand or get into this business. And frankly, I would love to see more independent operators in this business. Some of the smaller chains, some of the family-owned parks, these are some of the best run parks in the country. I mean, I love it when you've got like a family running one park like Holiday World, as opposed to this is part of a 30-park portfolio chain. You get so much more personal attention from management at that point. It can be a wonderful thing. We'll see what happens with it, but I don't think that everything is finished in terms of changes at Six Flags at this stage.
Is it worth it to make a special trip this year if you're on the East Coast or in the Bay Area to say goodbye to either one of these parks?
Bay Area, I think we probably got another couple of years with that park. Six Flags America, if it's a park you've been to before that you have some nostalgia for, certainly. If not, the big attractions there, I think, are going to end up getting moved to other Six Flags parks. That's a way that they can save money on attraction development. Like they just did a refurb of one of their lands last year where they added a few new flat rides to that. We're going to be seeing those move to other Six Flags parks around the country. But if this is something that you've been to before, you've got some nostalgia for, absolutely go and have that opportunity to say goodbye. If you've never been to the park before, I think maybe you might be able to find a better experience at other parks around the country than going to this one that's on its final season. But hey, you do you.
Yeah, Crystal, have you been? That's in your backyard. Have you been there?
No, I've been to Busch Gardens though. I was like, I'm a Busch Gardens kind of gal.
Oh, Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Great
That's
park.
another one of Robert's favorites. I love that park.
In fact, they've got a new Big Bad Wolf, Wolf's Revenge family roller coaster that's opening up on, I think, May 23rd. So
the Big Bad Wolf is back.
Yeah. Well, it's not the same Big Bad Wolf as it was before. It's a different Big Bad Wolf, but it's also a suspended coaster. And it's one that's really designed for family. It's very similar to a coaster called Phoenix Rising that opened at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, their sister park in Florida last year. They bought two from the same manufacturer, and now Williamsburg is getting its installed. And they decided to name it after the old Big Bad Wolf ride that they used to have there that was replaced ultimately by the Verbolten roller coaster as we go into roller coaster geekiness here in the basement.
Well, and that is the last thing. We got stackers yelling at their device to ask, because, most years we haven't had this much news, Robert. You and I are going around the country talking about all the roller coasters. What's the roller coaster, the hot new thing before all this news? Is there anything in a regional theme park that's a hot new coaster?
A lot of us are looking forward to Siren's Curse at Cedar Point this year. They just brought back Top Thrill 2, which only ran for 2 days last year and has already exceeded that this year. So Top Thrill 2 is back there at Cedar Point this year. So that's basically a new coaster for everyone. Plus, they're adding Siren's Curse, which is a tilt coaster where you go out, the track is just straight and then tilts down 90 degrees and drops you.
Oh Lord.
That's coming sometime this summer. If you want to go north of the border up in Canada, they've got a new coaster at Canada's Wonderland called Alpenfury that's opening. It's supposed to have the most inversions of any coaster in North America. It looks absolutely spectacular. I'm hoping to get up there for that.
That looks like a neat park in general, Robert, just what I've seen.
That is a great, fun park. I highly recommend that one. It's all around this thing's called Wonder Mountain, this big mountain right in the middle of the park. And Alpenfury is going to be going up and around that. But they've got 7 attractions in or around that mountain, plus all of the extra land around that as well, right next to Toronto. So it's a super easy. So again, if you're just kind of doing a visit and you're visiting Toronto and you just want to throw a theme park visit into that, Canada's Wonderland, absolutely wonderful, worth doing. So that's a great coaster. Honestly, I think my favorite coaster in the U.S. this year, though, might be an Epic Universe, that Stardust Racers coaster. I did that. I was screaming the entire time. There was one point where I realized I need to close my mouth because my body is getting so dry from air blowing in at 65 miles an hour into my open, screaming mouth. I'm just like, ooh, okay. Just chug a liter of water after that one. Great new coaster.
Oh, that's it. Every time Robert's here, Crystal, I just want to spend $1 bajillion and just go around the country. If only there were a website online where we could get the latest news. Yes.
But wait a minute.
Yes. Tell the new people why we love Theme Park Insider so much, Robert.
Theme Park Insider. It's a consumer's guide to the world's best theme parks. When I talk about consumers, I'm talking about everybody else. We do an annual poll where people rate and review attractions. We've got put it up in one-page consumer guides that we've got for, I think, 47 theme parks around the world, all the Disney, all the Universal, the major Six Flags parks, SeaWorld, all of them are there. It'll give you that insider information about what's the first ride that you go to in the morning, where do you get your tickets, how do you get the discounts, all linked there with the rating of the attractions. Plus, we've got news on our front page every single day of the year. Multiple posts about what's happening, such as, hey, they're going to have a big Disney theme park in Abu Dhabi. And we had that first. And then stuff that's on our discussion forum where people are sharing trip reports, answering questions that other readers have.
I love the discussion forums too. People ask great questions. People are so nice and
we've
sharing
worked
their time.
Very hard to keep this as a very civil community. I think a lot of people are nostalgic for what the web was 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's like, what happened to all of the fun discussion forums and websites? It still exists at themeparkinsider.com. So come on by. We'd be happy to have you.
It totally does. Robert, thank you so much for mentoring us on summer fun.
Always my pleasure.
It's finally summertime because Robert's been to the basement.
Yes. Always great to be here.
Huge thanks to Robert for joining us, Crystal. That was fun.
That was amazing. Thank you, Robert. Can't thank you enough. We now have I don't know. I wouldn't call it a PhD. I would say our associates and bachelors in roller coaster theme parkology, because that was so helpful.
I love how you called him the professor. That was good.
He really is
the professor.
We just got schooled.
It's funny because he talks about skimping on food. Food, if it's available, is my favorite part my favorite part of the theme park experience. If I can find good food at a park, I think he's right on. Most of the regional theme parks skip on that because you're not going to find it. And I'll give you an example. You've been to Cedar Point.
Yep.
Cedar Point, the food's horrible.
Yep. I don't remember anything about the food. I remember eating. We had a lot of food in the parking lot. Like we packed coolers and stuff of food. So those were in the car trunks.
Cedar Point, like many of the regional parks, has a picnic area, and you're allowed to bring a cooler in with food so you can save some money that way. What we do, what my sister and I did last year, I talked about that with Robert, that my sister and I went. And when we went, I know that about halfway down the park is the marina, and you have to leave the park to go into the marina. But on the dock of the marina, there is a ribs place, which is pretty good. But now it's a national chain again. It's Dave's.
Famous Dave's.
Famous Dave's.
I forgot.
It was Famous Dave's. But you know what I liked about it? I love going to Famous Dave's because I sit down, I get a big beer, we have some ribs, we're out of the rush of the park, and it's just this super kind of chill out time. But we got to leave the park to go find food at Cedar Point. Now at Disney, Disney's all about the restaurants. So that's a whole different. And you know what park you like that has great restaurants?
Oh yeah.
Is Busch Gardens.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And every area is like a whole bunch of different stations of like the themed food. I did like that part, but again, that's not why I'm there. I'm there for the fun, not for the food. But I did like that Robert suggested, like when you go somewhere, have something that they're known for. So if I go to this Silver Dollar place, I will definitely get a loaf of that Cinnabread because that sounds amazing. Like I could do something like that because it's shareable. And then I can get on with the fun. Like I don't
just
need
have me
to
at carbs and sugar.
Yeah, I don't need to sit at a restaurant and I just be sitting there like, all right, let's go eat.
No,
hurry, go, let's go. Yeah, that's me.
I think that is a mistake, especially at Disney parks, because the restaurants are so fun. And I'll give you an example. There's a place at Hollywood Studios called 50s Primetime Cafe.
Oh,
and when you go into the Primetime Cafe, it looks like you're in a 1950s living room. And our waiter came out and she said, "Hey, and she looks at the ticket and she goes, it's the Saul-Sehy family, my cousins, the Saul-Sehys." She can't even pronounce our last name. And she's like, "Oh, how are you, cousins?" And she's going to my kids, Nick and Autumn, and she's like, "How have you? I haven't seen you since the family reunion. Is everything good?" So if you don't remember my name, I'm Cousin Layla, and Cousin Fred is going to also be helping me. And then she gets right between my kids and she lowers her head and she goes, "Now just remember, Fred's a little slow, so don't make fun of him." So every single time Fred came to do the water, my kids would start cracking up and Fred would look at them and get this look on his face and go, "What? What?" And it was hilarious. So funny.
That's neat. That's neat. Okay, that would be fun with kids. But
I got to the last bite of my meal, and there was a little bit left. And Layla comes over and goes, "Are you finished with that?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And then I saw the look in her face, and I went, "Oh God!" And she grabs my plate and she goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, this dad over here is supposed to be teaching his kids that you clean your plate, and look at, he has one bite left. Don't you think he needs to eat that?" And the whole restaurant's like, yeah. She goes, "So if you'll all help me," she grabs my fork.
Oh,
she
no.
puts, I think it was some macaroni and cheese. She takes the macaroni and cheese, she puts it on the fork, and she has everybody at the surrounding tables go, "Choo, choo." Well, she choo-choos the food into my mouth. I was like, "Oh my God, I asked for it." But now that we don't go with kids, I still like it. As people know, I'm a Disney adult. I'm one of those annoying people. But the restaurants I like now, the Brown Derby is this beautiful Hollywood themed restaurant, like where all the stars hang out. And it just is very good food. It's delicious. You go to the Contemporary Resort, and there's a place called the California Grill that's up at the top of the resort. You schedule at the same time the fireworks are happening, and they pipe the music in. They pipe all the stuff in, and you're way above the Magic Kingdom, looking out into the park. It's fantastic. The food at Disney, especially, and of course, all of Epcot, right? Epcot is the food. It's Epcot's amazing food restaurants. If you go to the Moroccan place, you get phenomenal food from Morocco, and they have the belly dancer come out and do the belly dancing thing. You go to Germany, they have the cool Papa band while you're eating. So the meals at Disney are well worth being a part of the experience.
I would still maybe appetizers or see, that's what I would do. I would go to each place for appetizers maybe, or just a drink or a dessert. Like, all right, where should we get dessert? I don't need everything at the one place. I want to see it all. That's me.
Well, that of course is why I go back, is because
there
I'm like,
I
haven't been to this restaurant. I haven't been to that restaurant. And there's so many. There's so many. What's your favorite theme park of all?
Well, I haven't been to Disney, so I'm reserving my answer for Disney, but definitely Busch Gardens, definitely Cedar Point. Where else have I been? You
and I, when we started working together, we went to Disney Springs and we had a great time at restaurants.
That was nice. Yeah. So but that wasn't inside of a park, right? That's just
but we still got, oh my goodness,
that was fun.
The Italian food place that we ate at that looks like you're at the Pan Am. You're at
the airline.
Yes, the Pan Am airline, and then Edison's, the speakeasy that we hung out at.
Oh yes, okay, that was a lot of fun.
See, I love the Disney stuff. The Disney area
even the
restaurants.
Place, when we were waiting for our table, the wine bar that we went to.
The wine bar.
That was crazy fun too.
And we couldn't even get a regular seat. We were down at the end. They kind of scooted up chairs for us at the end of that bar. And
we went somewhere else too. We were outside.
Yes, we went to Jock Lindsay's.
Cool. Yeah,
Jock Lindsay is supposedly was the pilot for Indiana Jones. And so it was that big Indiana Jones themed place.
Yeah, that was cool. See, I liked all the looks and the feels of all of those places.
Yeah, see,
we did it all in one night too. That was cool.
I took you on the whirlwind tour.
That was great. See, that was good for me.
As many as we could get at the time. That was so fun.
That was fun.
Regional theme park, for me, it's gonna be Busch Gardens.
Okay.
Busch Gardens is just such that Busch Gardens Williamsburg is such an experience. It's such a nice, fun family place.
Yeah.
That whether you're a group of adults or you've got kids with you, either way, there's something for everybody at that park.
Yeah, I went as a group of adults and had a blast like we were kids. It was like 9 of us that went too. Like it felt like a kid in a candy store.
Now,
and an adult.
King's Dominion now is owned by the same people that own Cedar Point. How'd you like King's Dominion?
I went a long time ago, and it was one of the a friend of ours, their company thing where we had the food. Like it was like a buffet kind of all you can eat kind of food thing. And I was there for the water part. Like I really thoroughly, I kind of didn't want to leave the water park part. So I spent probably 90% of the time at the water park. That was crazy fun.
We did that at Kings Island once. The water park is included with the main park. And so the water park part was really fun. It was a hot day when we were there. Yes. So it was a perfect time to spend at the water park. Yeah, if the water park's included, I think that's a great time.
And I'm also team arrive early so you can get a lay of the land and get everything in that you want to do because
you have
It is. And I'm nothing against people with children, but they take longer to rustle up the kids. So that you have an advantage if you go super early.
While the park is filling up.
Yep.
I have been religious about that. And back to last year with my sister, I think in the first hour, we rode 4 rides in the first hour. And then after that, it was slow the rest of the day because there were lines,
so many people.
But that first hour, if you get there right at the rope drop or the park opening, boom, 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 get those first 4 in. And it's funny because I've even told whoever I'm going with at the time, at that case, my sister or Cheryl, or I've been to Disney with friends. And I'll just say, listen, I am going to, because the time I went with friends, they knew I was the Disney expert. And I said, here's the deal. If you stick with me for just the first 90 minutes, It is not going to be this frenetic pace the rest of the day. I promise, because I can't stand it. So first of all, I can't stand the frenetic pace. But the reason I do the frenetic pace the first 90 minutes is so we can chill the rest of the day. True. And just enjoy the whole thing. So, we immediately, ran to Peter Pan, got on that ride right away, went right over then to Space Mountain, got on that right away. Like boom, 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 get these things done.
We'll see. Get it out of the way. Get it out of your system.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs ride.
Oh, okay.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is another long line. Like to get those out of the way.
But yes. I also that's why I appreciate the Theme Park Insider too, because you need the guides. I would have never known to download the app for each place also. That makes a huge difference as far as planning, because I would get in there early and not know where to run to. So to have a guide or a plan to say, this.
The virtual queue. I've never done the virtual queue for these other rides, but when I had to do the virtual queue at Disney, I knew we had to wake up at 7 a.m. on the dot.
Okay.
You got in virtual line. Like I literally press. And you know what's funny? It was for Tron, no longer virtual queue, but used to be. Even though I was there right at 7 a.m., right when you had to get in line. This is how important this is. You know what time our virtual queue time was to go to Tron? They don't tell you. They just tell you what number you are in line. Guess when I got on the ride?
7:40.
2:00 in the afternoon.
No.
If I had been there at 7:05, I wouldn't have gotten on the ride.
At all. Wow.
That's what you're up against. You're up against all these people that know.
Serious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Gotta know. I don't like paying for he was talking about paying for the lightning lane or the fast pass,
Express,
whatever.
All of those. They
thing.
all have a version of it.
I don't know about you. This is the great thing about being able to go during the school year or being able to go on a weekday. I would much rather, Crystal, go on a weekday or go during the school year than pay this extra at Disney. It's a crazy amount of money for this. Get in line early.
Me too. Yeah, that's that's non-negotiable to go at a high traffic time, or when there's a danger of kids of being on spring break or any, what do they call it, the shoulder seasons. Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I'm saving my money, for shoulder seasons.
And plus, as a guy who's been to theme parks in July, even Cedar Point, right, which is on Lake Erie, so you almost always have a breeze. I've still been there in July, and it's so hot. It's so hot, and you're miserable. You're in long lines. It's super hot. By 3:00 in the afternoon, you're
exhausted.
done.
Yeah, mentally and physically.
Yeah, forget that. Some of the best advice I got, 2 pieces of advice that were some of the best advice I got. Piece of advice number 1 was, and this is what I liked about going out to Famous Dave's, was not the restaurant so much as just in the middle of the day, take a break.
That's a good one.
Because when we came back from Famous Dave's, we maybe lingered there about 90 minutes over. We had beers, appetizers, whatever, got back and everybody inside the park seemed pretty miserable. And my sister and I were fresh and we were ready to keep going. So that was great advice. The second was, if you are there with kids, all these rides end in a gift shop or a gimme something. Give them a set amount of money at the beginning of the day and tell them if they don't spend it on anything, they get to keep it. If they do spend it, they can spend it at the beginning of the day, middle of the day, and it's up to them. But when it's gone, it's gone. We did this with my kids, Crystal. My daughter's money was gone. I think the park opened at 10. I believe her money was gone at 10:03.
That's funny.
My son kept the money all day, didn't spend it on anything, and was so happy that he was coming home with all the cash. So, do a little bit of homework ahead of time about what a decent t-shirt or whatever the thing is would cost. Give them that amount of money plus a little bit more. And then, then the cool thing is, this is what drove me crazy. We would be getting off every ride and there's all these kids in front of you tugging on their parents. They're in your way as you're trying to get out, and they're tugging the parent. Can I have? Let's just get rid of the can I haves.
Yep.
And go, you can have whatever you want.
Yep. There you go. You have a budget.
But you've got to decide, and you're not asking me for any more.
That's my top favorite. Yeah, that's an amazing idea. I would even go as far as say, you know what, I'll double it if you have money at the end. And a lot of people, that would probably be me, where I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm in no danger. You're in no danger of losing double because I'm going to spend it so quickly. I would have been 1003 right with your daughter. But
that was me.
Yeah.
I'm a spender. But the cool thing, Crystal, Autumn didn't ask for anything the rest of the day.
Oh, that's
She's
sweet.
like, I made my choice. I bought my thing and I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that. And I'm not even a planner because I know I was seeing something way better, probably for cheaper. And it's like, oh, well, I got what I wanted. No buyer's remorse.
Here's something else to know about the parks, which is often if you can't ride everything you want early, a lot of parks you can wait till late. Like a park like Disney or Universal, where it is a destination park, meaning people are going to go back to the hotel. A lot of families get tired and they go back to the hotel. I tried this, Crystal, at Disneyland, and it didn't work. And the reason is Disneyland caters so much to local people. The park got way more crowded at 4 p.m.
Oh, interesting. That is interesting. Because I did like that tip that wait till maybe like the hour before it might be empty. No,
but know where the crowd's coming from. Cedar Point works that way too. True. People go for the day and Cedar Point starts to empty out about 5 p.m. And if you can wait till the last hour, my sister and I rode a bunch of rides the last hour. This was cool. We got in line for the big, huge Ferris wheel, that they have it at Cedar Point. We got in line for that. And the park was already closed. It had been closed for 20 minutes by the time we got on it. And so we're riding the beautiful and the park's all lit up. It was so pretty. Beautiful. You're watching people leave, and you're on this beautiful wheel overlooking Lake Erie. That was
right,
fun.
and the lake too. Well, I also liked you're going to Famous Dave's or somewhere to take a load off, because then you're sitting in a very comfortable seat, first of all, and you're in air conditioning. So that is like the best kind of a refresher in the middle of all the chaos, because it is. You're a hot, sweaty mess. So taking those intermittent breaks.
And again, that's another reason why I like the restaurant. The restaurant for lunch much more than the restaurant for dinner. Like to your point, at dinner time, I might not have my big meal be dinner, but I will have it be a late lunch. So I can, if I get in the park at 10, I might schedule lunch for 2:30.
Yeah.
And then snack, later on after that, get something less.
I like that.
What's your favorite roller coaster? Do you do roller coasters?
I do. I don't remember the names. See, you guys are good at remembering all that stuff. But my favorite one was the one that we were standing. I like the standing ones. I like the unconventional standings.
Yeah, the standing one at Cedar Point was really cool. It banged your head around a little bit to the point that they don't have you standing anymore. Now they have you on a little seat, and it still bangs your head around.
You're like suspended in the thing. Yeah, but that is the standing one.
It still feels like you're close to standing.
Yeah.
I really like the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is, I think, my favorite roller coaster. It's at Epcot. And what's cool about it is it's funny. It's really well themed. And then they play songs while you're, and it's at speakers right behind your head. Yeah. So I've ridden the whole thing with Blondie's Heart of Glass playing at full blast. That's super fun. Another time it was an Earth, Wind and Fire song, I think, if I remember. Maybe it was September. I don't remember, but well themed.
I'm adding these to my list though, because I want to go through the one like he talked about that has the like you're going through a New York apartment.
Doesn't that sound cool?
Yeah. See, so I'm way outdated in the technology that what's come out in parks since I've gone.
It sounded really cool. All right, adventures. What is your theme park adventure? What's your favorite theme park? Did you hear something from Robert that really made you remember something cool that happened at a theme park that you went to? You got a great tip, like we shared our tips, and Robert certainly has his. Share those with us. Where do people record them, Crystal?
You go to stackingadventures.com/mystory so you can tell us your story. Tell us something you loved. Tell us something you hated. Tell us like your weather stories too. Like, hey, never go at this time of year. Or if it rains, this is where you want to go to have all the fun. So definitely, we want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. And to bring and not to bring. Like, what did you take too much of or not have enough of? I know you can never have enough cash, But I am going to try to win these prizes too. I at least want to, because, okay, so that's the thing you can't buy. The recognition of the lights going off because you won something. And then step 2 is to hand it off to a little kid that's watching. So you're the hero because you don't have to carry it anymore.
That
Boom.
is awesome.
There you go.
Just imagine the little kid getting the big, huge animal.
And then their parents look at you. You're like, deuces.
See, it's funny because that game's not worth $5 or $10, whatever they pay, but the look on that kid's face is.
Oh, yeah. And the recognition of the lights going off. Like, yes, that's me. I know how to win.
You're welcome.
Follow me.
We were at a fair one time, and they had that dart break the balloon thing.
Uh-huh.
And Cheryl and I were dating. And so I'm like, I'm going to win you this plush thing. I grabbed the darts. And Crystal, I feel like I'm so on stage. There's so many people hanging around. I don't even hit the board where the balloons are. Like I literally, and I couldn't do it. And so I did like 3 of them. I think they give us 5 darts. I do 3, and literally the dude's laughing at me. Cheryl's laughing at me. This was not the impression I was trying to make. And then so Cheryl's like, just hand me the last 2 darts. Her very first dart, she pops a balloon.
Oh,
she wins this little plush carrot that we kept forever just because it was Cheryl's like, here, I won you a carrot.
That's
so
hilarious.
Dumb. It was so bad.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it for today. Again, please give us your theme park stories. How do you enjoy the summer at a theme park? That's going to do it for today. I am Crystal.
And he's Joe.
I'm Joe.
I'm Crystal.
See you next time. Go stack some adventures, peeps.
Woohoo. And tell us about them.